Welcome, and a big thank you to Ariel for coming to speak with us and our young artists. They're really excited to ask you a few questions about your poster. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Ariel?
Yeah, so I'm 18 years old. I just turned 18 a couple days ago. I'm graduating this year and I'll be off to university next year to study architecture at the University of Toronto. And I've been doing art for as long as I can remember. So it's something that I've been passionate about my whole life. And I'm super, super happy that I can share my passion with a bunch of young people like you guys. And I was about your age when I really started getting into art. So this is a really, really cool opportunity for me.
Nice. Okay, Victoria?
Hi, Ariel. How did you feel when your piece of art was chosen as the winner of 2020 Calgary Stampede Poster Contest?
Well, I was super, super surprised because the way that they told me was they told me that they were meeting with all of the top 8 contestants. So there was 8 artists that were chosen to be in the finals. And they told me that everyone was getting interviewed, but they actually only brought me in and they opened some doors and they had my poster printed and displayed all over the room, which was a huge surprise. And so that was a really, really cool way of showing me because I wasn't expecting it at all. But obviously I was super happy and super excited to see what was coming next.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie?
Is it a real cowboy or did you draw it from your imagination?
So it is a real cowboy. There is a photographer that works with the Stampede called Bill Marsh, and he took the photo of the cowboy. And in the original picture, the number on his back was actually number 43, but I changed it to 108 because it was supposed to be the 108th year of the Calgary Stampede. So that part was kind of from my imagination, but he was a real cowboy that competed in the Calgary Stampede.
Oh, wow. I like that. Isabella?
Did you have any other ideas for the poster?
Yes, I did. One of the things that we were told to do was come up with a few ideas before we started with the poster. And I initially thought I was going to do something about First Nations because I thought that their costumes were so beautiful and they have a lot of really beautiful photographs from the Stampede. But once I saw this photograph of the cowboy, it completely drew me in, so I decided to do that one. But I did have other ideas initially.
Arik?
Does your drawing tell a story? If so, what is the story?
Yeah, so one of the things that I wanted to do was tell a story of kind of a behind the scenes perspective. So you can see the cowboy sitting behind, getting ready to go out to compete in the rodeo. And it's an interesting perspective because it's not one that has been done in the Calgary Stampede posters before. And so the story was kind of the mystery of what's going to happen and how he's going to perform. And I wanted to leave it kind of up to the imagination because you really don't know what's going on. But I wanted to do something about behind the scenes, and that's where my idea came from.
All right, thank you.
Where did you get your inspiration from for this poster?
Well, that was actually one of the hardest parts for me, was finding a photo that was going to be very captivating to other people. So I spent a very, very long time looking for the right photo. And my mom actually was the one who suggested to do that sort of behind the scenes idea. And I looked and looked and looked, and then I finally saw that one photograph of the cowboy kind of leaning up against the stands. And that's really what inspired me to do it, because I thought it was a really interesting perspective.
Thank you.
Did you get to keep the painting or did you give it to the Stampede?
So that was one of the things that I had to agree to do when I decided to enroll in this competition, is that if you were selected the winner, the painting actually belongs to the Stampede. So right now, my original piece of work is hanging above the president's desk, and it will stay in there until the next Stampede, and then it'll go into an art gallery that is owned by the Stampede. So the original artwork isn't actually owned by me anymore. I had to pass the rights over to the Stampede. But I have a ton of posters at home, which is pretty cool if you ask me. So the original artwork doesn't actually have the logo on it. That was added digitally afterwards. So the original artwork is without the logo.
What was your favorite part about making the poster for the Stampede?
Well, one of the cool things about it was that I actually did 2 copies of the poster. So the first copy was much smaller and there was a few less details. And so there were 30 artists that got the chance to do the first copy of it. And then we got to talk to a professional artist as well as the president of the Stampede. And they gave me some tips and some things that they wanted to improve. And so in my original painting that I did, the number was still 43. And so that was a change between the first and the second. So that was really fun for me, was to kind of see the difference between my first copy and the second copy. And there's quite a difference.
Arik.
How did you become such a good artist?
Well, like I said, I've been doing art for so long. I've been doing art lessons with an art teacher since I was in probably grade 4. And once I got into probably grade 8 or grade 9, I started working in a studio with an art teacher who would let me do my own thing, but she would help me on the side. And that really helped me develop my own artistic style, because I wasn't necessarily following a step-by-step class, but I was able to explore whatever I wanted. But I have been practicing art for many years. And trust me, I was not always good. It's something that definitely took practice.
Are you working on any art projects right now?
Yes, I am currently working on an art project. I am drawing my classmates that are graduating. I go to a small school, and so we have 15 graduating students. And so I'm currently working on drawing all of my classmates as kind of a graduating gift for everyone, because it's a bit of an interesting time right now. So I thought it would be a nice thing to do.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. What are some of your favorite Stampede memories?
Well, when I was little, my favorite thing was always the rodeo. And so that was actually also one of my inspirations for the piece. I wanted to do something rodeo related, and the cowboy is getting ready to go out to and compete in the rodeo. So the rodeo was just so high energy, and I always loved that. And so that's probably my favorite Stampede memory.
Okay.
Ariel, is there anything you'd like to share with our young artists as we finish up?
I would just like to say that art is different for every single person. Everyone has their own style, and what really stands out for an artist is expressing your own personal style. So it really does not matter how good you are, as long as you put a little piece of your own like twist into what you're doing and you show yourself through your art. You're going to create something that is going to surprise and impress other people. And you should never get discouraged if something goes wrong. I've had many failed projects, and that is totally okay, because the worst thing that can happen is that you just put it to the side and start it again, and you can always learn from your mistakes. And that's super important to remember, because if you let those little mistakes let you down, then you won't really get very far. But if you learn from them, then you will get much better.
Thank you, Ariel, for joining us today to answer our questions. On behalf of Rundle Primary Artists, we wish you congratulations on your win.
Thank you very much for talking to me, you guys.
Welcome.